Alright, okay. Today is a big day. Today is NFP. So, what do you guys think? Whether today NFP will go up or go down? If you guys think it will go up, you guys may put up in the chat room. If you guys think it will go down, you guys may put down in the chat room. So later, I will analysis the market first, and we will wait for the NFP to be happen, which is somewhere around 8:30. So later, I will start up with the gold first. So after gold, then I will go back to BTC and ETH, same as usual. So today is NFP. So a lot of people, if you guys don't know what NFP is, NFP is actually hello. NFP is actually a very big news that will happen, and actually it has a very big um impact, especially in gold. So let me give you guys a little bit context about NFP. Actually, what is NFP? In full name, it is actually called non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll. So, actually, how do we get this data from this non-farm payroll? The first industry that actually it will affect NFP is service line industry. And over here, actually, this is a very big impact. What does service line actually included? For example, property agent, insurance agent, and or third party. Third party dealer, something like this. So in US, actually, in order for US to get this data, actually they will get this data from top industry in US. So the first industry that has the most job is actually servicing line. And the second largest industry in US, it is actually manufacturing. Manufacturing, it also have a very big impact in the whole market. And of course, we also have technology. What else? Servicing, manufacturing, technology. If not mistaken, education is also included in it. Yes. So these are those industries that have the most job in US. So if we wanted to look at how does the US economy goes like, we look at this few industry. Because if this few industry have a very big impact in the jobs opportunity, for example, if manufacturing, technology, education, and servicing line industry, they have a very low job, which means a lot of US citizens, they will not have much money. When the citizen of US, they do not have money, which means the whole country, it will have a very less buying power, which is the consumer impact. When the consumer impact is not there, then the whole market actually will move very slow. So if the citizen of US, they have no money, so which means US dollar eventually will be weak. So if US dollar is weak, which means if we reflect back to gold, because gold is against US dollar, if US dollar is weak, which means in XAU, we are looking at a bullish sign. Okay? We're looking at a bullish sign. So if the news came out later is a red color at here over here, if the actual is red color, which means the whole market actually will go, in US dollar, I'm talking about US dollar, the US dollar will go down and the gold eventually will go up. So actually, if these few industry actually that perform well, and eventually the US dollar, eventually it will be strong. If US dollar is strong, which means gold will be bearish. But if it comes to news, trade about news, usually how do I trade news? Usually I will still follow back to the technical analysis. I would not use news as my biggest confluence of my trading decision. I will follow back to my SOP and my trading strategy. So right now I will analyze how does the market goes right now. Okay, so yesterday night over here got a change of characters during midnight. So we have a change of trends from uptrend turning into a downtrend over here. And over here we have a higher low, and we also have a confirmation of trend turning from an uptrend turning into a downtrend. But this morning, when the market opened, the price actually broke above this previous high. And this previous high, it is actually a change of trend again, turning from a downtrend turning into uptrend. So currently in the whole market, we are actually looking at an uptrend or a downtrend. So after that, so this is a point number one, which is a change of characters. So over here, we have point number two. And over here, we have a confirmation of trend turning from an uptrend turning into uptrend. But over here, we close down below this previous low again. So right now in 15 minutes, we are actually looking at a downtrend. And in 5 minutes, it's also the same, because let me analyze about 5 minutes. This is a change of trend in 5 minutes. And confirmation of trend turning into uptrend is over here this morning. So this morning, eventually we have a small rise. But during the afternoon, the price actually closed below this point, which is 4709. So if the price wanted to go change back to uptrend, which price level would I look at? I would look at 4733. If the price broke above 4733, eventually the trend will change from downtrend turning into uptrend. But currently we are in a state of downtrend. But I still haven't seen the confirmation of trend yet. If we wanted to see a confirmation turning from an uptrend turning into a downtrend, I would need the price to break below this point, which is 4706. This point we must see to break below 4706 if we wanted to catch a short entry. Okay, so right now in 15 minutes, we are looking at a downtrend. And in 5 minutes, we also looking at a downtrend right now. So, but in 15 minutes, although it's downtrend, but we also need to break this level, 4706, in order for us to identify this as a confirmation of downtrend. This point is confirmation. Okay. But during the afternoon and the evening, because today is NFP day, during NFP, the whole day actually it will not have much volume. So that's why since afternoon and evening, we are still consolidating in this period of time. It's because a lot of people, they are scared or they are worried about their trading decision, because NFP, it is one of the biggest data news, especially for gold, because a lot of people, they are worried about what will happen in NFP. Because in NFP, usually how big is the volume? Usually the volume is this big. Later you will see. Or it will this big. Let's say if you wanted to do a long entry right now, if it goes down, let's say it really hit our cut loss 474689, but because of NFP, it is too big. Everything happened within 1 second, and therefore we the broker or your exchanges couldn't exit your trade enough time, because this drop is too fast. It happens everything within 1 second. The system of the broker that didn't even have the time to exit your trade, because actually everything is about order field and everything need to be queued up. So if this one happens in 1 second, the system is not fast enough for us to generate this cut loss. So therefore, even though if you set the cut loss at 4689, there is a chances of you exiting at a lower price, which is 4679. Same goes to the upside. So let's say if you are entering a short entry and your cut loss is, let's say, previous high 4734, there is a chances of your cut loss is not exiting at this price level. There is a chances of exiting at a higher level, maybe even more than 50 or 100 pips. Actually, according to my experience, I think during my 4th year of my trading, actually I did experience this kind of incidents before. Just within a night, because of I I couldn't remember, is it FOMC or NFP? I think it's one of it. Um, Suddenly, because I've forgotten about NFP, because usually what do I do in NFP is, if let's say I am entering a trade right now, let's say I am risking let's say $500 for this for per trade, and my whole wallet, it has a value of, let's say 5,000 for example. Usually during NFP, I will withdraw out 4,500 to a sub account or to a reserve fund, and I will leave $500 in my account. The reason is because, let's say if I really have an order right now, once the NFP goes against our trend, let's say if I'm doing a short entry right now, but the price eventually, after the data is shown, the price immediately shoot up. Let's say if the price that exit is not the same as my cut loss, let's say I'm exited at 4.3, maximum of my drawdown is actually 500. It's because I already withdraw out $4,500 away. I already withdraw out. So that's why even if the NFP happened against our trend or against my order, actually everything is still under control. It's because maximum of my drawdown is actually $500, because I only leave $500 in my account. And I wanted to protect my $4,500, because what happened during my 4th year of my trading is actually, if not mistaken, my damage cost for that order is actually $500, somewhere around there, few thousand. But because of this NFP, it has delayed my exited price, which means I exited at a higher level. In one night, I think I lost few $1,000. because of this NFP or FOMC. I couldn't remember. Yes, it's been a long time ago. So because of this incidents, I recommend everyone to do this way. If you guys really have an order currently running, you may withdraw the rest of the money to a sub account first. Because even if this cut loss is hit, you will just risk your cut loss amount, because you are risking $500 for this trade, which means you will just leave $500 in your account. That's all. If anything happen, at least we are still under control. Actually, a lot of people ask me this question. Actually, how do we identify whether a good mentor or a bad mentor? Actually, it's very easy. I wouldn't say my strategy is the best in the world, because even the best trader in the world, the winning rate is just at 30 or 20%. But actually, most importantly is, how does the mentor actually taught you about wallet management? Actually, wallet management, it is very, very important, especially in trading. No matter how good is your winning rate, 90 or 99% of winning rate, you still have 1% of losing your whole wallet. So that's why today I'm teaching you guys how to protect yourself during news. So right now, 15-minute candle already closed. We already confirmed the price is turning to downside already. Yes, the price is turning downside. But NFP is happening soon. I don't know whether we have an entry opportunity or not. Okay. If there is an entry opportunity, later we will enter. But if there is no entry, then let's see how later. Okay. So if you guys really wanted to trade NFP, I would suggest you guys to do this action first. Let's say you wanted to risk $50 for this NFP trade. Then you just allocate the $50 into a sub account. That's all. And you withdraw all of your money to a reserve fund first. Because let's say if anything happened during the news, at least your money is still safe. Okay? So right now in 5 minutes and 15 minutes, we are looking at a downtrend. But we still need to look at the NFP actual result. Because even though if technical analysis shows us its downside, what happens if the actual goes according to the against us? Alright? So let's wait another, actually 12 more minutes. NFP will happen in another 12 minutes. So actually a lot of uncertainties for this NFP actually. First thing is, this forecast and this previous month data has a very big difference. In the previous month, we have a 178,000 of the data, but for this month forecast, it is actually 65,000. And some more, during this week, the tension between the Strait of Hormuz is also lowered already, which is the tension between the war between Iran and US is really loosened. And if the war really stop between these two countries, most likely the gold will go very strong. Because I know that a lot of people actually they said when the war happened, eventually gold will rise, right? But if real war came into the game, let's say if we talk about Iran, actually Iranian dollars is really zero. So if we're talking about money, You see, Iran dollar, if we against it with US dollar, it is actually zero value. So, what do you think Iran already stored their money? You guys may take a guess in the chat room. During last 2 years, 2025 and 2024, during the tension between Middle East happens, where do you think Iran already put their money in? The answer is gold. So that's why gold, it has been rise since last 2 years. Yes, since last few years, we pump from $1,000 per ounce until all-time high is somewhere around 5,600. So which means perhaps Iran already changed all of their money into gold. So that's why gold, it has a very high value right now. So if they already gotten into war, that's why they have to sell gold in order for them to buy military equipment. So that's why during the last few months, gold have a very big drop over here. This drop, it happens within 23 days and it has dropped around 25%. So if war really ended in US and the Iran, most likely gold will have a small rise. So that's why I'm waiting for NFP actually. If NFP really shows a bullish sign and it successfully to broke above this resistance is somewhere around 4,800. This level, 4,867. If the NFP shows a bullish sign, then most likely next week we will see the price to reach this resistance level. Or maybe tonight we will reach this resistance already. 4,867. Okay? Let's see later, another 7 more minutes, the result will came out. So let's go to BTC first. So in Bitcoin, during last few days, I already mentioned about this resistance, this daily chart resistance. Currently, we are failed to broke above this level. And in 4 hour graph, we are actually going uptrend. And in 1 hour, we actually have actually in 4 hours, we have an entry opportunity. If you guys wanted to do a long trade in Bitcoin, you guys can do it over here. You guys can market already. And your cut loss, you may put somewhere around here, 79,000. So actually, why do I look for a long entry in Bitcoin is because first of all, in 4 hour, this is a continuous of trend over here. Happens over here, continuous of trend towards the upside. And right now, I also see the low is getting higher and higher. And this is the second time of the low getting higher. So actually, when the first low is getting higher, actually this means buyer is getting into the market and seller is getting weaker. When the second higher low happens, we can confirm the buyer is stronger than the seller already. Alright, but of course, this BTC trade will have a slight risky is because we are currently sitting at a resistance area right now. if we really wanted to set a TP, I wouldn't suggest you guys to set too high. You guys may set somewhere around this area. 1-to-1 risk reward ratio is enough. 81,500. Go for me, I think sell, but I ain't executing, driving. According to technical analysis, gold is definitely going downside. Yes, if you are driving, please drive safe. Please don't trade. Gold is currently in a downtrend right now. In 5 minute and 15 minute, both is downtrend. Yes, but we still need to look at NFP. Okay? Because currently, even if in 5 minute, we also didn't have a confirmation. So if we really wanted to enter this 5 minute short trade, we have to wait for the price to retrace back to this white color EMA first. Once the price retrace back to this white color EMA, we still need to wait for an engulfing to be happen. Then we will enter a short trade over here. But because of NFP, I don't think it will arrive at this EMA within 5 minutes because NFP is happening in 3 more minutes. Okay, so Bitcoin currently I'm looking at a down uptrend. If you guys really wanted to enter, you guys may enter, and your cut loss is 79,000, and your TP is you may put 81,000. Okay. By the way, disclaimer: everything is just my personal view. Okay. Okay. How many more minutes? Let's see. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Any one of you have ordered that are executing right now actually? Did any one of you actually have ordered? Time to fly. No. Okay. Currently in 5 minute and 15 minute, it is downtrend. So let's see 1 more minute. But actually, according to fundamentals, actually I'm looking at an uptrend because the tension in Strait of Hormuz, the tension is getting lowered, and some more, this forecast is so low if you compare it with previous month. So let's see whether technical analysis is stronger or the fundamentals. Because according to technical analysis, we are looking at a downtrend right now. Okay, 40 more seconds. Four more seconds, 3 more seconds, 2, 1. Let's see. The result is pending. Oh, it's blue color, which means gold is going down soon. We have to wait for another two results. Okay, so if in this case, right, both of these news actually go against each other. For the for this news, actually it showed a red color, and the actual NFP it shows a green color. Actually, this indicates a meaning of uh, the whole chart actually it will go up and down, just like this. You see, the price eventually it will go up and it will go down because of they are against each other. Because if it's red color, this means US dollar is getting weaker, and for gold we are looking for a bullish. If it's green color, which means we are looking at a bullish for gold but bearish for we are looking bullish for US dollar but bearish for gold. So usually if this kind of cases happen, it will go up and down first. Actually, this month NFP is not that big leh. So small one this month. Only 120 pips. Usually NFP happens super big. Let me show you guys some examples. Usually it will happen at the first week of the month. Let's see, okay. If you're looking at June, 6th of June. 6th of June. $8.30. Oops, too far. 6th of June, 8:30. You see? The news came out, it is actually green color. So which means it is bullish for US dollar, but it's bearish for gold. So after this news is announced and 2 hours later, it already go down so much. So in XAU for this current trend, actually what I'm waiting for right now is, let's say, because right now we're already back to this EMA, first of all, and the trend is also turning from uptrend turning to downtrend already, and confirmation of trend in 15 minutes is also happened over here. If the price broke above this level 4724, the price will turn from down to uptrend. So if NFP, if for today NFP, if we really wanted to see a downtrend in gold, we will have to see the price to retrace right now. Yes, I couldn't let the price to break above 4724. If the price broke above 4724, eventually the trend will go back towards the upside. Same as 5 minute. 5 minutes is slightly higher. 5 minutes is somewhere around 4726. If the price successfully closed above this level, so how do I enter a long trade? If the price closed above this area, then I need the price to form a higher low first and eventually to form a confirmation of trend over here. Then once the price have a confirmation of trend over here, I will need the price to retrace back to this EMA. Then I will enter a long trade over here. But I don't think this will happen tonight. This one most probably will happen next Monday already. Okay. If the price reaches back downwards and close below this candle, we will enter a short trade actually. But this one is so big. Let me calculate. Wow, how big is the candle? Wow, cannot. Around 200 pips. The cut loss very far in this case. But right now, I think the price is closing towards upside. Let's see. Let's wait one more candles and then we decide. Because who knows whether this price will close towards 4703. If the price didn't successfully to close above 4724, eventually we are still looking at a downtrend. Because once the price one day did not close above this level, I am still considering as a downtrend right now. And usually after 30 minutes after the news, usually it will retrace back towards downside. So let's say if you're looking at 1 minute, currently in 1 minute in NFP, it shows a uptrend over here. And there are a lot of straight green color candles over here. If there are too much straight green colors candle, usually it will form a retracement. And some of this is also a resistance level. 30 minutes. Usually it's 30 minutes after the news. So let's wait. The price in 5 minutes is closing in 4 more seconds. If the price really close above this level, okay, let me see. Okay, no. We have to close above this level. It failed to close above that level just now, this candle. Red liao. What do you mean red? What rate did you mention? What rate do you mean? In 15 minutes, currently it's in downtrend. There's nothing much. Okay. Usually, how do I trade? I'm actually a day trader, and usually I trade the daily trend. I will catch daily, whether it's an uptrend or the downtrend. I'm not a scalper. Okay. The reason is because I wanted to manage my own emotion. Because if you are a day trader, one day you open just 1 or 2 trade, you actually it's much more easier for you to control your emotions and your mentality. It is easier for you to get back on track. If you are a scalper, actually you do not have time for you to react. Because maybe this moment you enter a long trade, maybe the next moment, 5 minutes later, you cut loss already, and you have to straight away enter another trade. What happens if you straight cut loss 4 trade? Alright? How do you manage your emotion? If you ask yourself this question, if you got strict cut loss more than 7 times, how do you feel? Did any one of you actually did experience strict cut loss for more than 7 trades and above? Did any one of you happen this kind of incidents before? If you guys did experience this, you guys may type me in the chat room. Because scalper, actually, the hardest part as a scalper is to manage the emotions. But as a day trader, it is very easy for us to manage our mentality and our emotions. So in 15 minutes, if the price broke above this level, 4724, it will turn from a downtrend turning into an uptrend. Excuse me, sorry. So in just now, this 5-minute candles, it fails to close above this level, 4724. It failed to close above. it has a wick over here. So if the price really close above this level, so what do we need to do is we have to wait for the price to retrace one time, and then we have to see the price to broke above this previous high one more time for us to confirm this trend is turning from downtrend turning into uptrend. And we have to wait for the price to retrace back to this EMA. Then we can do a long trade. And this long trade, how far can we take this order? Okay, first stop, we will look at this previous high first, which is 4763. But this resistance is a small resistance lah. The bigger resistance is somewhere around 4785 and 4800 because this is a flip zone. Okay, so if you really enter this long trade, let's say, I think it will probably happen in next Monday already, this trade. If let's say next Monday we really entered this long trade, I think I will most probably hold this trade until somewhere around 4785, this level. And some more, the tension in Iran is getting lesser right now. Therefore, we will look for a long, more towards long side, bullish side. Okay. So in BDC, I already enter already, but this trade is slightly risky lah. It's because we are entering at a resistance area. We are doing a long trade in the resistance. So the TP, try not to TP too far. Just 1-to-1 RR is enough. Okay. So in XAU, let me do a summary before we end today's session. So in 5 minutes, let's see later whether the price will close above this level or not. If it closes above this level, the trend turns from down to up. But if the trend failed to close above, eventually it comes down. Let's see. Because over here, if the price really comes below, close below this level, 4704, try not to do short entry first lah. It's because there is a very big support down here, unless your TP is above this support. If you really enter a short trade over here, try not to TP too far. Try to make your TP somewhere around 4668 if you really enter a short trade over here. Okay. And some more, the whole market actually, I'm actually more towards bullish side instead of bearish side. But let's see. Let's see what the market goes. Okay. If you guys are clear about the direction of XAU and BDC, you guys may type OK in the chat room to let me know. So let's wait 1 more minute first before I end this session, because I wanted to see this price whether it will close above this level or not. Once this candle close, actually in 15 minutes it also closed above this high. Four, 727. 30 more seconds. Ooh. A week happens. +20 seconds. Yes. Let's see next Monday. Next Tuesday, we actually have a CPI. The next 2 days have CPI. Next Wednesday have PPI. Yeah, Thursday is a small news. Okay, 5 minute candle is closed. whereby it failed to close above this previous high. So which means in 15 minutes, okay, 15 minutes also failed to close above. Both 5 minute and 15 minute failed to close above 4724. If 15 and 5 minute later close above 4724, eventually the trend will turn from downtrend into uptrend. Okay. Right now, we don't have any short entry opportunity yet. If we really wanted to enter a short entry, I have to wait for the price to close below this level first. After it closed below this level, then only retrace back to this white color EMA. Then I will look for a short entry. Yes, we will enter the short entry over here. So if you really wanted to enter this short entry, we will enter something like this. And your cut loss, you may put at this previous high. And your TP, you may put at this support level. It will lies around 4668.1. Okay. If the price really close below this previous low, 4704, and we have to wait for the price to retrace back to this EMA, then we will enter a short trade over here. But we have to wait for a candlestick to happen. Yes, then your cut loss you may put previous high, and your TP you may put at this support level. Okay. If you guys are clear with the market, you guys put okay in the chat room to let me know. So I think most probably Sunday. Let me check my schedule first. If I'm free, I will do a live session in YouTube as well, and I will analyze about the whole market movement before the market open during Monday. Okay, I will try to arrange my time to do it for you guys. Alright, so let's prepare for next Monday movement. But hopefully tonight. Okay, by the way, if you guys did enter this short trade tonight or a long trade tonight, try not to hold overnight. Try not to hold it till Monday, because we couldn't predict what will happen between this Saturday and Sunday. Because I still remember a lot of time, actually Donald Trump, he announced something during Saturday and Sunday. A lot of time. If he announce anything during Saturday or Sunday and you still have an order open, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't exit your trade. So as a mentor, I would suggest you guys try not to hold overnight, especially during weekends, just to protect you guys and to protect your money. Yes, always. Alright? Okay, so see you guys next Sunday or Monday. Bye-bye. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.